You all know that I run a fairly atypical classroom, and Reboot Camp is an idea I've tried in years past um, to varying degrees of success. I've never tried something this complex, something that I figured would take kids somewhere between 6 and 10 weeks to complete. And the idea behind this isn't busy work, it's to establish a common purpose, a common goal, a common frame of reference between the kids and I. So we have a sense of community, and it all begins with integrity. I mean, this is, and I stress this, that if we're honest with one another, we're going to have a far more successful experience. And that honesty goes right down to the self assessment piece that the kids have. This was under construction when school started because I only got my hand on my Gameful site a couple weeks before school. So the kids, when they encountered this, everything was yellow and there were holes. There were, I think there was nothing in this column and only a couple things elsewhere. But these I built first because this is so important. Um, and I stressed in the daily videos that the kids could do these in any order they wanted, but I suggested starting right here simply because this is so important. And then I explained things. I'm not going to go through everything, but the rep climb, the idea that we started with one reputation, we only got 1% of the loot at the beginning of the year, and only a few coppers fell, even though the quest was worth gold. This idea of delayed gratification, digging yourself out of a really deep hole, and that daily effort pays off. This was quite unpopular with the kids at the beginning, but the celebrations when they finish Reboot Camp, or some epic quest like Intro to Smart Objects with 18 videos and tons of skills building exercises in there. The thrill they got. Yeah, there was some complaining and moaning and groaning, but I think this has worked beyond my wildest expectations. It's not perfect. There's clunky things in here. We had problems logging in to the Creative Cloud with some kids, so I've got quests that I'm going to rework completely next year. But I like that we've started a morgue file and that they understand free digital assets. These right here, these e-tickets, these are pretty much my check for understanding without asking them to submit, to a quiz or a test or write a paragraph, because I can tell from how they work, the questions they ask, just their demeanor in the classroom, whether or not they've really paid attention. There's keys, just how the browser's set up, how you work through the programs, what the interfaces look like in Photoshop and Illustrator, and the Finder even. I've had them set up, in Finder Basics, their Finder windows to open up in their home directories, in column view, with the status bar and path bar showing. Not just to play gotcha, but because the Finder window is far more effective when you have it set up that way. And we speak a common language when I show them my Finder window and how I'm working from file to file in different folders. It creates this common frame of reference in the technical space. So the whole idea behind this is I wanted the kids to get a good grounding in how the MacLab works so that after that first 6 to 10 weeks, the next 30 or so weeks will be much more effective. We're going to see how that plays out. I've still got some kids working through this. Some of them because they're English language learners or they just learn more slowly. And some, of course, because they're sitting on their thumbs. And, I have yet to reach every single kid in my room. But I think it's worthwhile to keep kids here until they get through. we'll see. We'll see. There may come a time where I'm going to have to just pull that requirement or just award that badge to some kids to get them to move on. We'll see. It's not a perfect system, but I'm really thrilled with how Reboot Camp has worked and how this badge prevents kids from moving on. Got a few other quests, and I'm going to make another video that's going to talk about a couple new ideas that I've had that I'm kind of excited about and want to share with you guys.